At the end of this video, you will be able to understand why modules is a useful tool for organizing your course site, create modules, add content to your modules, organize the content within your modules, and use Student View and Publishing to check whether students can access your course content. Another important aspect of our suggested approach to designing your course site is to organize your course through the Modules tool. Following this approach and linking all of your course content in modules reduces the effort it takes for students to understand your course site and allows them to focus on learning course content. To begin creating modules and organizing our course content, I will click into the Modules tool in our course navigation. Since we do not have any modules yet, we have a large button in the middle that you can use to create a new module. This will only show up when you don't have any modules, but you will always have the big blue button in the top right to create new content. When you click to create a new module, a box pops up. The first thing you'll need to do is give your module a name. There are a variety of ways you can use modules to organize your site, and today I'm going to model creating modules by week, so I'll call this Week 1. You can also include more information, such as the topic of the week, so I'll add in Introduction. You will also see a checkbox called Lock Until. This option, if checked, allows you to set a date and time when you want this module to become available to students. For now, I'm going to keep this unchecked. Then click the Add Modules button. Now on your modules page, you should see the gray header for your new module. You will also see a box with the option to drag and drop files. This can be used if you're moving something from your computer into a module, such as a file. I'm going to create a second module named Week 2 to show you one additional feature you can use called Prerequisites. This feature will only show up when creating modules after the first. This feature allows you to set requirements for what students need to do in order to progress to each module in your course. The logistics can get tricky, so we won't get into this in more detail here, but if you'd like to learn more, please consult the Canvas help guides. Now that we have some modules in place, we can start adding content to the modules. You've already seen that you can drag and drop files into your modules, but you can also add different types of content using the plus button to the right of the module header. When you click that plus button, a screen pops up that gives you a lot of options for content to add. In the drop-down menu, we see assignments, quizzes, files, pages, discussions, text headers, and external URLs and tools. I'm just going to show you a few of these options today. Let's say that in my Week 1 module, I want to add my syllabus document so students know exactly where they can find it, and I have it in my site as a file. I would choose File from the drop-down menu, then choose that specific file. At the bottom, you have the option of indenting that content to create a visual hierarchy and organization in the module, and you have 3 different levels of indentation you can choose from. Once you're set, click Add Item at the bottom, and now that content is housed in your module. Let's say I also have an assignment I want to add to Week 1, so I would click the plus, choose Assignment from the drop-down, and choose the correct assignment. You can also add something called a text header, which is not separate content but allows you to create headings within your modules. For Week 1, I want to differentiate my syllabus versus course content, so I could go in and add a header called Syllabus. Then I could add one for assignments. You'll notice that when I add content to my module, it is ordered how I added it. But if I want to reorder things, I can use the 8 dots on the left to drag and drop different items in different spots. So I can move my syllabus text header to the top and my assignments header above my assignment. Then finally, if I wanted to now indent my syllabus document, I can use the 3 dots on the right of that content and choose Increase Indent. One additional detail that is important to note here is that you can also create a shell of different content from the modules. So maybe I want to create a placeholder for a page describing the goals of week 2. I would go to Add Content, choose Page from the dropdown, and click on Create Page. This adds an option to give the page a name, and then you can add the item. It's important to know that this page does not have any content on it. You've only created the shell. You would then need to go to that page and add content before it is complete. This is a good point to also show you how publishing works in Canvas. There are 3 levels of publishing: the course level, the module level, and the content level. If you want students to see your content, it needs to be published. So as I've added content to my modules, you can see that some things are not published, indicated by the circle with a line through it, and some things are published, indicated by the green checkmark. So I am going to use the student view to see what my students might be able to see in my course. When I click it as is, you'll notice it brings me back to my home page, and I do not see the modules tool. This is why publishing is really important. Since the modules are not published, nothing is showing up even though I now have content in my modules tool. So I'll go back to my normal site, navigate back to modules, and to publish the week 1 module, I can click the circle with a line symbol. When you publish a module, you can choose to only publish the module name or publish the module and everything inside that module. If I go back to the student view, I can now see the modules tool and everything in week 1. And now my student can access the assignment, for example, even though they cannot see the assignments tool. So again, this is why it's important to organize everything in your modules and make sure things are published so that students can access your course content.